The night cracked open with Lena's cry as thunder rolled over the city, her voice shattering the silence of her apartment. She clutched the letter in her trembling hand, whispering, "Why did he betray me again?" Tears burned her cheeks as she sank to the floor. Michael stood in the shadows, his tall frame tense, watching her break. He said, "I never wanted this, Lena, but lies have a way of catching us." She glared at him, rage fighting grief. "You hired me to pretend, Michael, a fake wife, a business arrangement. But then you looked at me like I was real." His voice cracked, though his tone remained firm. "And when I saw your face, I froze, because I knew everything would change." Her chest rose with fury and despair. "You used me to win your war, and I fell into it blindly." The air felt heavy with betrayal, lightning slicing through the windowpane. Michael's hand reached forward but dropped as if burned. "Lena, I'm fighting demons you can't see." She shook her head, voice breaking into a whisper. "And you became one of them." The storm softened, but Lena's voice still cracked like thunder. She said, "Michael, you think love is something you can rent." He exhaled sharply, pacing across the room. "I thought control would protect me, Lena, but you pulled me into chaos." She rose to her feet, her braids clinging to damp skin, her dark eyes glowing with defiance. "Then why am I the one paying the price?" Michael turned, his face torn. "Because you were never supposed to matter this much." Her breath hitched at his confession, the pain mixing with an unbearable pull. "And yet I do," she whispered, stepping closer, every word laced with trembling fury. Silence pressed between them, thick as the storm's aftermath. Lena said, "You wanted a wife for a contract, not a heart." Michael leaned against the wall, fists clenched. "I wanted a shield, Lena. I never expected to feel this weak." Her breath came ragged, anger hiding the tremble of desire. "You can't cage me in lies and call it love." He stepped forward, eyes burning. "Then tell me why your voice cuts me open every time." She swallowed hard, fury meeting something dangerous inside her. The rain slowed into steady drops as Michael's tone hardened. "If I lose everything, Lena, it will be because of you." Her laugh cracked bitterly. "You built this cage, not me." He stepped closer, their breath nearly colliding. "Then break it with me," he whispered, eyes flashing with desperation. Her body stiffened, her heart pounding with betrayal and longing. "You can't ask me to save you, Michael, not after what you've done." Lightning faded into distant echoes, but Lena's voice carried the storm inside her. "I should walk away now." Michael's hand hovered in the air, trembling. "And if you do, I'll never breathe right again." She turned, jaw clenched, but her steps faltered. Her whisper lingered heavy. "Then, suffocate with your lies." The door creaked open, the weight of her exit threatening to collapse the silence behind her. Michael stood frozen, torn between pride and surrender, the storm within unbroken. Morning light seeped through blinds, chasing away the storm's shadow, but not the storm inside Lena. She sat at the edge of her bed, her fingers tracing the bruises of memory. "Well, why does he still haunt me?" she whispered. Her best friend Jasmine leaned against the dresser, arms crossed, her honey-brown skin glowing against the soft sunlight. Jasmine said, "Because you let Michael write his name in your wounds." Lena sighed, shaking her head, anger simmering with grief. "He doesn't deserve the power to ruin me." Jasmine's voice softened, though her eyes were sharp. "Then take it back. Stop carrying his sins like they belong to you." Lena's chest rose and fell, caught between despair and defiance. "But, Jasmine, when he looked at me, I felt like I mattered for the first time." Jasmine's gaze pierced her. "You mattered long before Michael ever knew your name." Later, Lena walked through the bustling cafe, the scent of roasted beans wrapping around her. She carried her laptop, hoping to drown her thoughts in work. But Michael was already there, seated at the corner table, his suit sharp, his dark eyes heavy with unspoken words. Lena froze, her pulse pounding. "You can't keep appearing everywhere I run." Michael rose slowly, his espresso skin catching the soft light. I'm not here to haunt you, Lena. I'm here because I can't stay away. Her voice sharpened. You don't get to twist love into a contract and call it destiny. Michael's jaw tightened. Then tell me why every breath since you left feels like a mistake. How? Silence stretched as the cafe buzzed around them, their world shrinking into the fragile space between two broken souls. Lena sat across from Michael, her hands tight around her cup. She said, "You only see me as part of your empire, never as a woman with her own fire." Michael leaned forward, his voice rough. "I see you more than I see myself, Lena." She shook her head, refusing to be drawn in. "No, Michael, you see the version of me that benefits your pride." His eyes burned with conflict, his broad shoulders rigid. "You think I wanted this arrangement? It was survival, not love." Her voice trembled, words sharp as glass. "Survival doesn't excuse turning me into a lie." The air thickened with truths neither wanted to face, yet neither could escape. Outside the cafe, the city roared with life, but Lena's voice cut through the noise. "Michael, I lost myself once chasing someone's love. I won't do it again." Michael followed her onto the sidewalk, his presence commanding. "Lena, I'm not asking you to lose yourself. I'm asking you to find me in the wreckage." She turned sharply, her mahogany skin glowing in afternoon light, her dark eyes sharp with warning. "Don't make me choose between my dignity and you." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "What if I'm trying to choose you over everything I built?" Her breath hitched, betrayal and desire tangling into something unspoken. "Then prove it," she said, walking away with the city swallowing her footsteps. That evening, Lena sat with Jasmine at their kitchen table, the quiet hum of the fridge filling pauses. Jasmine said, "He's breaking through the walls you built." Lena shook her head, her eyes clouded. "I can't let him. I can't bleed for Michael again." Jasmine leaned forward, her copper-toned hands covering Lena's. "Then don't bleed. Make him prove he can heal the wounds he opened." Lena's lips quivered. "And if he can't?" Jasmine's voice carried the weight of truth. "Then you walk away knowing you didn't break, you survived." Tears welled, but Lena exhaled, finding strength in the words. "Maybe surviving is the only love story I need." The boardroom glowed with sterile light, the air thick with judgment, as Lena walked in beside Michael. Every gaze cut like knives, whispers following her every step. Michael leaned close, his tone low but sharp. "They think you're a scandal, Lena." Her jaw tightened as she placed her hands on the polished table. "Then let them choke on their whispers." Across the table, Danielle, his former fiancée, smirked, her caramel skin flawless under the bright light. Danielle said, "It's cute, Michael, how you parade her like she belongs here." Lena's glare shot fire. "Cute is watching a bitter woman cling to what she's already lost." Michael's hand pressed against Lena's under the table, a silent plea for calm, but his pulse betrayed him. The clash of power surged, each word sparking another flame. The meeting dragged like a battlefield, every word an attack. Danielle leaned forward, her eyes fixed on Lena. "You'll never fit his world." Lena's voice rose, steady and defiant. "I don't need to fit into his world. I'll build my own." Michael's chest tightened as silence gripped the room. He said, "Danielle, enough." But Danielle's smirk only deepened. "Funny, Michael, you used to say the same about me." Lena caught his flinch, the truth cutting sharper than any insult. She whispered, "So I'm just another replacement to you?" Michael's eyes burned with regret. "You're the one I can't replace, Lena." The room seemed to shrink around them, the tension unbearable. After the meeting, Lena stormed into the corridor, her heels striking the marble floor. Michael followed, his voice breaking through the echo. "Lena, wait." She turned, fury blazing. "You let her cut me down like I was nothing." Michael's breath was ragged, his eyes dark. "I couldn't fight her and you at the same time." Lena's chest heaved. "Then you already chose your side." His hand reached out, but stopped midair. "I chose survival, Lena. But I want you." Her voice dropped into a whisper, trembling. Wanting me doesn't erase the wounds. The hallway's silence swallowed their words, the storm between them louder than thunder. Night fell as Lena returned to Jasmine's apartment, her body heavy with exhaustion. She dropped her bag on the couch and whispered, "I don't know how much more I can take." Jasmine placed a mug of tea in her hands, her afro haloed by lamplight. "Then stop letting him decide your worth." Lena's eyes shimmered with tears. "But Jasmine, I feel him under my skin like a burn I can't cool." Jasmine's voice was firm but gentle. "That's not love, Lena. That's pain disguised as passion." Lena stared into her cup, her reflection broken by ripples. "What if I can't tell the difference anymore?" Jasmine leaned closer, her voice softening. "Then let the truth hurt, but don't let it destroy you." Later that night, Michael sat alone in his penthouse, the city lights sprawling beneath him like stars he couldn't touch. His glass of whiskey trembled in his hand. "Why does she undo me?" he whispered. Danielle's voice echoed from the doorway, smooth and cold. "Because you never learned how to live without control." He turned sharply, anger igniting. "You don't belong here, Danielle." She stepped closer, her caramel skin glowing in the skyline's reflection. "But I belong in your story, Michael. You can't erase me." His fists clenched, his jaw tight. "You are my past, Danielle. Lena is my fight." Her smirk curved slowly. "Then you're already losing." The glass slipped from his hand, shattering across marble. The night draped itself heavy as Lena opened her door to find Michael standing there, rain dripping from his hair. His eyes carried desperation, and something darker. "Lena, I need to tell you the truth." Her heart clenched, her hand gripping the doorframe. "Another truth, Michael. How many do you keep buried?" He stepped inside, his presence filling the room. "Danielle isn't just my past. She owns a piece of my future." Lena staggered back, the words slicing deep. "What are you saying?" His voice was low, heavy. "She holds the contracts, Lena. Without her, everything I built falls apart." Tears welled in Lena's eyes as betrayal clawed at her chest. "So you used me to fight her?" His face crumpled. "No, I needed you because you made me forget her power over me." Her voice broke. "But I'll never forget what you just confessed." Lena's chest heaved, the air sharp as glass. She whispered, "You tied me into your war against Danielle without telling me." Michael ran his hands through his damp hair, voice unsteady. "I thought I could protect you by hiding it." Her laugh was bitter, broken. "Protect me? You trapped me in your battlefield." Michael stepped closer, reaching for her. "Lena, everything I did was to save us both." She slapped his hand away, eyes blazing. "You can't save me by destroying me." Silence stretched, heavy with shattered trust. His shoulders slumped and his voice cracked. "I'm losing everything, Lena, and you're the only thing I can't lose." Her tears fell as she whispered, "Then you should have told me before you made me your shield." The following day, Lena stormed into Jasmine's office, her breath ragged. "He used me, Jasmine. He made me part of his war with Danielle." Jasmine's honey-brown skin glowed against the office light as she frowned. "You deserve honesty, Lena, not strategy." Lena slammed her hand on the desk, anger spilling. "But I let him in. I believed him." Jasmine's gaze softened, but her words stayed sharp. "That doesn't make his lies your fault. It makes his cowardice his own." Lena sank into the chair, her body trembling. "I don't know if I can keep loving someone who hides me inside his battles." Jasmine leaned forward, her voice steady as stone. "Then make him fight for you, not with you." Lena's eyes lifted, fragile but burning with resolve. That evening, Michael confronted Danielle in the penthouse lounge, his voice edged with fury. "You've been pulling strings, Danielle, making me dance to your tune." Danielle's caramel skin shimmered under chandelier light as she swirled her glass of wine. "Don't blame me for your weakness, Michael." He slammed his hand on the glass table. "You used Lena to get to me." Her smirk deepened. "She was never more than a pawn in your empire, Michael. You just happened to fall for her." His chest rose violently, his eyes blazing. "Say her name with respect, or I'll tear this deal apart." Danielle's laughter cut sharp. "You'd destroy everything you built for a woman who was never supposed to matter." His voice shook with rage. "She matters more than all of it." Back in her apartment, Lena sat by the window, watching the storm fade into night. Her reflection stared back, broken and fierce. She whispered, "He told me the truth, but it cost me everything." The knock on the door startled her. She opened it to find Michael, eyes hollow, voice trembling. "Lena, I chose you. Danielle has the contracts, but she'll never own me." Lena's breath caught, her body torn between fury and longing. "And what do I do with the scars you carved?" His lips quivered. "Let me heal them, Lena. Let me prove it." Her eyes filled, but her voice was sharp. "Then fight for me, Michael, not your empire. If you can't, then walk away now." His silence screamed louder than thunder. The gala hall glittered with chandeliers, every polished surface reflecting wealth and judgment. Lena entered in a fitted black gown, her presence commanding silence. Michael's gaze locked on her, pain and longing tangled in his dark eyes. Danielle swept in behind him, her smirk sharp as a blade. She whispered, "This is where your lie collapses, Michael." Lena's heart thundered as whispers swirled around the room. She said, "If tonight breaks us, let it be the truth that shatters, not the lie." Michael stepped forward, his voice steady but desperate. "Lena, I brought you here because I can't hide you anymore." Danielle laughed, raising her glass. "Or because you needed her as your shield." Lena's chest rose, fire and grief in her breath. "No, Danielle, he needed me because he's weak, but I stayed because I thought he was strong." The orchestra played faintly, but tension drowned every note. Michael faced Lena, his voice trembling. "I never wanted you to be my shield. I wanted you to be my truth." Lena's lips quivered as she whispered, "Then why bury me under lies?" Danielle circled them like a predator. "Because Michael has never loved without chains." Michael turned sharply, fury cutting through his voice. "Enough, Danielle." Lena's tears welled, but she stood tall. "You both turned me into a war neither of you deserved to win." Silence rippled as guests stared, the weight of scandal pressing down. Michael stepped closer, his hand hovering near hers. "Lena, I will lose everything tonight if it means keeping you." Her body froze, torn between fury and an ache she couldn't silence. Whispers turned to gasps as Danielle raised her voice. "Tell her, Michael. Tell her the deal you signed with me." Lena's breath caught, her eyes snapping to him. "What deal?" Michael's fists clenched, his voice hoarse. "To keep the empire afloat, I tied myself to Danielle's contracts." Lena's knees threatened to buckle, but she steadied herself. "So, I was never more than leverage." His face twisted with anguish. "No, Lena, you became the only thing that mattered when I no longer cared about winning." Danielle laughed, her voice sharp as glass. "And that's why he'll lose it all." Lena's eyes filled, her whisper slicing through the noise. "You already lost me." Michael's voice erupted over the silence. "Danielle, you'll never own me no matter what contracts you hold." He turned to Lena, his voice raw. "And I'll burn it all to prove you're not leverage. You're my everything." Lena's tears spilled as she shook her head. "Words don't mend chains, Michael." Danielle's smirk faltered, rage seeping into her eyes. "You'll destroy yourself for her." Michael's jaw tightened. "If destruction is the price of freedom, then yes." Lena's heart thundered, her body trembling. "Then show me. Because tonight I don't want promises, I want truth." The room spun with whispers as Michael stepped closer to Lena, his voice breaking. "I love you. Not the contracts, not the empire. Just you." Lena's breath caught, tears streaking her cheeks. "And what if love isn't enough?" His hand reached out, trembling. "Then, I'll let everything else burn." Danielle stormed away, fury vibrating in her steps. Lena's body froze, the moment heavy as eternity. She whispered, "Michael, if you mean this, prove it beyond tonight." His hand hovered inches from hers. Then give me the chance, Lena. Her eyes met his, torn between rage and desperate longing, the world collapsing into silence around them. Lena sat by the riverfront at dawn, the city still asleep, her breath fogging in the cold air. She whispered to herself, "Love shouldn't feel like war." Michael appeared behind her, his footsteps hesitant. "I came to give you what's left of me," he said softly. She didn't turn, her eyes fixed on the water. "You gave me lies, Michael. What makes you think truth will save us now?" He moved closer, voice breaking. "Because it's all I have left." She finally faced him, her eyes raw, her voice trembling. "And what if I don't want what's left? What if I want the part of you that still knows how to love without chains?" His chest rose with anguish. "Then teach me, Lena. Or walk away, and I'll carry the silence forever." Later that day, Lena walked through her mother's old neighborhood, the cracked sidewalks holding memories of loss. Jasmine joined her, linking arms. "You look like you've carried the world, Lena." Her voice was gentle but firm. Lena sighed, "Because I have. And it keeps breaking me." Jasmine stopped, turning her. "You deserve more than to be someone's shield." Tears pricked Lena's eyes. "But what if he's the only one who's ever seen me?" Jasmine's gaze cut through her doubt. "He saw you because you forced him to. Don't forget, you were always visible, even without him." Lena's lips trembled as she whispered, "Then maybe it's time I see myself." Michael stood in his office, staring at the skyline as papers lay scattered across the desk. Danielle entered, her smirk replaced with cold detachment. "You're really going to throw it all away for her?" Michael didn't look at her, his voice low. "I already have." She circled him like a predator. "She'll leave you, Michael, just like everyone else." He turned sharply, his espresso skin glowing against the city lights. "She's not you, Danielle. And I'd rather lose the empire than lose the chance to love her honestly." Danielle's eyes narrowed. "Then you'll regret this." His jaw tightened, his hands trembling. "Maybe, but at least it'll be my choice." Evening shadows fell as Lena opened her apartment door to find Michael again. His face was weary, but his eyes fierce with resolve. "I signed away everything, Lena. The contracts, the empire, it's gone." Her heart seized, disbelief shaking her. "You gave it all up?" His nod was slow but steady. "Because none of it meant anything without you." She stepped back, tears burning. "And if I still walk away?" His lips quivered. "Then I'll know I burned my world for nothing, but I'll still burn it again for you." Her body trembled with the weight of choice, her silence louder than words. Later that night, Lena sat on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Jasmine's voice echoed in her memory. "See yourself first." Michael's broken plea haunted her. "I gave it all up." She whispered to the empty room. "Why does love always come wrapped in fire?" Her tears soaked the pillow, but her chest rose with strength. She whispered again, fiercer this time, "If I choose him, it'll be on my terms." Outside, the storm had passed, the moon breaking through clouds. Her heart remained restless, but for the first time, she felt the power to decide. The morning light broke across Lena's apartment, soft but unforgiving. She stood before the mirror, her reflection fractured between pain and power. She whispered, "This is my story, not his." A knock rattled the silence. Michael's voice followed, heavy with exhaustion. "Lena, please let me in." She pressed her hand against the door, her heart thundering. "Michael, I can't keep bleeding to make you whole." His tone cracked with desperation. "I'm not asking for your blood. I'm begging for your forgiveness." Her breath trembled, her eyes burning with defiance and longing. "Forgiveness doesn't erase the war you made of my love." Silence stretched as she gripped the handle, trembling between fury and fragile hope. She opened the door, and Michael stepped inside, his suit wrinkled, his eyes hollow but fierce. "Lena, I lost everything, but I'm here because I refuse to lose you." She shook her head, stepping back. "You can't fix us with desperation." His voice quivered. "Then let me fix us with truth." She crossed her arms, her gaze sharp. You can't undo the lies. He stepped closer, every movement heavy with fear. No, but I can carry the scars with you. I can finally stand without chains. Her chest rose sharply, her heart pounding in her throat. Then show me, Michael. Don't tell me. His silence was a plea, his eyes begging her to believe. Later that evening, Lena walked alone through the quiet park, autumn leaves swirling around her. Jasmine joined her, her voice steady. You look like you're standing between fire and water. Lena sighed, her eyes heavy. Because I am. If I choose him, I risk drowning again. Jasmine placed a hand on her shoulder. Then don't choose him. Choose you. And if he wants you, he'll walk beside you, not in front of you. Lena's lips quivered, her chest aching. But what if love isn't meant to be safe? Jasmine's gaze pierced the dusk. Then let it be honest at least. Lena nodded slowly, her soul trembling with resolve. That night, Michael stood outside Lena's window, the city glowing behind him. He called softly, Lena, I don't deserve you, but I'll never stop fighting for you. She opened the window slowly, her eyes glistening with both anger and longing. You've already burned me, Michael. What more do you want? His chest heaved, his voice breaking. I want you to know I'll love you even if you never come back. Tears filled her eyes, her whisper sharp as glass. Then love me from a distance, because I can't breathe under your fire. His face crumpled, the silence between them louder than thunder. The final dawn broke, pale light spilling across Lena's face as she stood on her balcony. Her whisper carried like smoke. I choose me. Michael's absence was heavy, but so was her newfound strength. She closed her eyes, breathing deep, every scar glowing like armor. Jasmine's voice echoed in her memory, see yourself first. Lena's lips curved faintly, a tear sliding free. And maybe love will find me when it's not born of lies. The silence that followed was haunting, but liberating. For the first time she felt the weight lift, not by his redemption, but by her own choice.